Okay, in this one we're going to talk about transitions. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with transitions because I think they're awesome. They make your video look really cool. Transition is like when you go from one type of media to another. But with that said, I have struggled with transitions because when you put a transition in, you'll see here in a minute, it takes away a piece of your clip. And sometimes that can be very frustrating to try to figure out how to get the transition to work how you want it to work. Anyways, okay, so we've got your clips down here. Hopefully you still have your same 2 clips down there. If not, just drag some down. This here is your transitions tab. So you've got standard, and then you have additional transitions there. Now remember, transitions, you should use them sparingly, I guess is the word, or also depends on what the subject of your video is going to be. If you have if you're doing a video on World War II or something like that, you're not going to want bouncy, energetic, exciting transitions because the tone of the subject matter isn't an exciting subject matter. So be aware of that. Okay, so here are your different transitions. Again, if you click on them, it'll kind of show you what it's going to look like if you use it. Go ahead, we don't have a whole ton of time, do it quickly, and grab a transition. So you're going to click and drag it. Now, remember when it's red, that means you can't drop it. See how right there, I can't drop it right there? You actually, and I said a minute ago, when you use a transition, it actually attaches to the end of your clip. So it will actually shorten your clip by a little bit. That usually isn't a problem when you're working with images, but it can be a problem when you're working with videos. So I went ahead and put that transition in there, and then I'm going to grab both of these clips just so you guys know you can move multiple clips from multiple tracks at the same time. You can also move them because there will be times where you have to move them up an entire track, so you can also move them up together if you ever need to. Okay, so once you do that, go ahead and watch what your transition looks like. Okay, so if you need to modify your transition, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so I can see my transition a little better. So here's a transition. You can double click on that just like you do with everything else. You can change the duration there of your transition. Sometimes you want to speed them up or slow them down. You can also change the type of transition if you decide, oh, I don't like that. I just changed the type of transition there. And you saw that Miss Bronchital coming in like that. That was the transition that I added. Again, just to warn you, if ever it takes off a piece of your clip or something like that, remember you can always drag your videos at the end to make it work a little bit better if need be. But that is pretty much it for transitions, I think. Okay, I forgot there was one more thing I wanted to show you in terms of transitions. So something that I do a lot when I do my transitions, because I told you that these transitions kind of drive me nuts sometimes. Sometimes I will just, sorry, I gotta set this up real quick. Grab, or when you click on the clip, you see these options right here. This one here is the fade options. Sometimes it's just easier. If you click on that, you'll see this dot right here appear with this yellow line. So sometimes I'll just add a fade in instead of doing an actual transition. So if you click on that line, that yellow line, just kidding, I think it's a green line actually right there, my bad. It's a green line. So when you click on that green line, you're adding another point to it. You can now drag that down. So watch what happens with Miss Bronchital. Now she will fade in when I play that. So get me out of there. Notice how she faded in right there. Sometimes I just do that instead of a transition because it's easier. So go ahead and add a fade in for her. And you can also, on the flip side of it, add a fade out if you want to. See how that's so long? This is where this zoom in and zoom out comes into play. Okay, so you could also do it to the end and have her fade out at the end of the clip.
Part of the initiative value throughout the whole month of September.
And there she goes. Okay, so go ahead and practice that real quick, and then you'll move on to the next tutorial. Yep. All right, that's it for this one.